What's going on? You already know what time it is. That prime time hour just hit, and that's why our podcast going live. In effect, man, you already know. I'm Tito P, always with me. My main man E. Tell him what's up, bro.
Yo, Kevin, what's popping, man? 8 o'clock on the dot. You owe me like $20 now. We've been on time the last like 4 or 5 episodes.
Hell yeah, man. We've been doing it. We've been not tardy like a motherfucker. We've been on time, bro.
We're trying to make this a professional podcast.
Yeah, somehow.
Yo, speaking of professional, we got a very special guest coming in the podcast today.
Oh yeah. All kinds of special, man. Got the special gear on. You already know.
You trying to cause problems already. What's wrong with you?
Hey, now, man, I'm going to represent. You know what I
mean? Yo, you got that D on your head because you're being a dick right
now. We'll see opening season who's a dick. We're going to see.
All right. So right now in the great waiting room, if you don't know, we got the one and only Tampa Bay Buccaneers super fan, Big Nasty, two-time Pro Hall of Fame inductee. Yo, bring our man in here, man. Let's check our guy out.
Already, bro. Letting him in now. But yo, you got to get more hyped up when you say the man name, bro. You got to be like, Big Nasty.
Do that again. Say it
again. That's how you got to do it, man. You got to introduce him like, Big Nasty, bro. Yeah.
How you guys doing? All right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man?
Thanks for having me on, but I got one problem already.
Yeah.
Alice jersey. You're a glutton for punishment, man.
You already know, man.
I tried to get him to change. I promise. I was like, take that off right now.
He gonna try to get me to change, man. Come on, I'm a fan. Come on now, I gotta rep mine.
I can appreciate that. You know, loyalty to a team is, second to none, man. But yes, it's gonna be a long night for you on Sunday night, though, baby, because we coming.
That's what I was just telling him right now. I was like, we're going to see opening season, man. We're going to see. Come on now.
You guys are going to be like that last playoff game with the poor fans in the stands. They were like shell shocked. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, my God, that's just terrible. But I've been there before, so I can tell you, I know what that feels like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But this our year, man.
We got unfinished business. We got to finish this one off this time.
Oh yeah.
Yo, real quick, Big Nasty, you got any kind of charity or appearances coming up? You want to shout them out before we start this?
Jeepers, man. Yeah, I wish I would have had the calendar. It gets crazy right around this time of the year. You know, we just ended up doing Kim Murphy Bunting's, Sean's mom's. They have the charity. Oh, golly. What is it, babe? Successful Jocks. And we were there last night, and what an impressive, it really good deal. They did at Neiman Marcus, big highfalutin place, and boy, did they have a show out, man. Everybody came out there. All the ball players were supporting Sean and his mom, and that's what it's about, man. It's all about giving back any which way you can. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's really good about supporting the community, always showing up for events. You can't beat it around here.
Absolutely. It's like one of the things we do at the beginning of season. We got a whole list of charities where we do Nasty for a day. So every home game, that game is bid at a local charity where they do a live auction for, a day with Big Nasty. So it's pretty cool. They get to sit in the front row with me. They get a customized jersey, Nasty Crew jersey, Rhino hat, and get to either do the Cheesecake Factory or tailgate, depending on how hot it is and what time it is towards the games. And most of them are going to be later games, so most likely we'll be doing that Cheesecake Factory.
I don't know though, if I'm hanging out with Big Nasty, I don't think I can go to the Cheesecake Factory. I gotta go tailgating with you.
Oh man, let me tell you something. What you guys don't know. There's a place called Bassano's Cheesecake okay,
yeah.
in Safety Harbor.
Yep.
And what was it? Last year, or the year before last, we had a pep rally, and I ate like cheesecake. I'm very superstitious. They actually have a cheesecake named after me. It's called the Big Nasty Oreo Cheesecake. No lie, and it's the bomb. This ain't
Nice.
no plain Jane cheesecake. This is some good stuff. But literally, we were there out every week. We had to go get that cheesecake because I didn't want to jinx us. And we look at it, man. Did you see that? Did you see that run to the Super Bowl? That was insane. Plus, we had a big old tailgate, and there must have not a tailgate, but a pep rally before the big one. And I'll tell you right now, man, there must have been 250 people easy that showed up on a morning that you're normally working. So pretty cool, pretty exciting. That's what being a fan's all about, right? Sticking together and loving your team.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Did you get your blood work done by the end of this? With your you get diabetes eating that much?
Oh my God, I am a diabetic, so it's funny you say that. And the thing is, man, I put on so much weight off that cheesecake. And I was telling Tommy Bassano, I go, Tommy, I said, once we lose, don't expect me to come back every week, man. You're killing me, brother. You're killing me. I'm already big. I don't need to be enormous, if that says anything. But yeah, that stuff's great, man. Good people. They got all kinds of things down there. So if you're ever in Safety Harbor, Florida, you got to look up Bassano's cheesecake, man. It's phenomenal.
Definitely. You said you go to eat or you hang out with like a fan or whatever. Was that the thing you did with Drew Garabo live? Because I know you guys hung out for like a charity thing.
Yeah, that actually is a pretty cool story. I don't know if you guys know me and Drew, and I'm so happy. He's doing much better, with his fight against cancer, man. But the way we met each other, this is no joke. I've been doing the Angelus event probably for the last 20, maybe 30 years. And I don't know if you guys know what the Angelus event is, but it's a housing for paraplegic, that need residency. And I don't know if you do remember the late, great Charlie Daniels. Remember Devil Went Down to Georgia?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Charlie and me and everybody was great friends. He used to do, man, he did it all the way up to the day he passed. They used to call it the Charlie Daniels Palooza, and all benefits from that concert, he'd bring in acts way back. I mean, this thing's been going on maybe 45 years before he passed. And he, all the monies they raised would go to the Angelus. And, now Charlie's gone. Obviously, you're not having that big, huge concert. So, they rely a lot on the public, to keep these residents housed. And I tell you what, it's a special place. It really is. And especially in my heart. So going back to Drew's an auctioneer. So him and Charlie Belcher, which is a local anchor over here at Fox 13, says, hey, they're describing the Nasty for a Day. And Drew's never met me. So I'm literally in my makeup and my garb, and we're trying to promote it like we do every year. And the funny thing about it, he's knocking it. Like, who the hell wants to go see the Bucks? I mean, they're not going to win. And I think it was a Packer game. I can't even remember then. But he was bad mouthing. I literally took the mic and I looked at him. I said, bro, you realize this is for the kids and the residents of the Angelus. This is a charity, right? And literally, that was like our little interaction. I never knew who the hell Drew Garabo was. Just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I come out of a meeting the next day. My phone is blowing up like a machine gun went off, because you don't leave your phone on when you're in with a client meeting. So I call it, what the hell? My wife's saying, man, he's eating you up on the radio, blah, blah, blah. You need to call him. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Who the heck is Drew Garabo anyway? Not realizing how much of a huge following he has in Tampa Bay. But, anyway, it's all in great fun. So that was like the new thing, Big Nasty and Drew are going to have it out at the Angelus. And there was never any ill feelings ever. But Tammy, which would run the event every year, and she's an unbelievable soul. They're the ones that started it and kept it going all these years. She bid on Nasty for a Day. I think she had the highest bid too. I think it went like close to $4,000. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is 2 tickets with me, a tailgate or a cheesecake, it comes with a jersey, all that stuff. Anyway, to make a long story short, she was determined, and then she gifts it to Drew Garabo. And Drew's like, oh, he's like going, we end up going, had the best time. I got to know him and his fantastic son. Oh, man,
Definitely.
just amazing people, amazing personality, and amazing heart. We had a lot more in common than we thought. And yeah, we're good friends to this day. Actually, I'll go to bat for that guy anytime. And let's just pray to God that cancer stays in remission and he keeps winning that battle. That's what it's all about. But Drew Garavo's the best, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We're big fans. We listen to the show all the time.
Yeah, well, the thing is, obviously he's been fighting. So I actually extended it out to him. I said, man, you got to get yourself better. I need you at the game. So he's going to the Falcon game with me again. So we're going to have a good time with it, man. I just think he's the best. I think what he does for his Christmas, he has a big thing at Walmart. Let me tell you something. It's huge. He gets more bikes and toys and everything for the kids in the community. And what a better way to do that. He's out there, and even when he had cancer, he was still doing the live shows. So pretty amazing guy. You can't question his heart whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Not at all. All right. So you've been doing this for about 34 years now?
35, 55, just turned 55 this year, and 35 years of being Big Nasty. So you can imagine, I've met a lot of fans over the years, and a lot of cool stories, a lot of good experiences with fans. I've seen crazy stuff, I've seen fun stuff, and I've seen tearjerker stuff. So some of the coolest moments, are taking people for Nasty for a day. But one of the things I'm really proud of is the Drugs Are Nasty program that we do at the local elementaries, middle and high school now, where we get out and talk about drug prevention, where say no, walk away, tell somebody, but true storytelling, and it's very powerful. We ended up taking that to New Orleans with Game Time Saint. We ended up taking it to Houston with the Ultimate Fan in Houston, and just two major cities that could use the help. And unfortunately, we had our mentor Mike pass away with Alpha Pro Solutions. It's a drug testing company. He ended up passing, and as far as out of the state of Florida, kind of went downhill due to that, because he was a major sponsor to make that happen. But God bless you, Mikey. We stopped one child from making a mistake, and just thinking twice not to do drugs. And let's face it, man, you could save a life and you could change a life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, especially in Florida. I mean, things are crazy with all the stuff that's going on right now.
It's what's crazy is there's always a new thing. One of the things is we do Manatee County Sheriff's Office. We go down there for the schools on what they call Red Ribbon Week. And literally, obviously COVID kind of screwed that up, that year. But they literally, they'll get 20 or 30 schools that we do in a week. And we just do auditoriums. I mean, you'll have anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 kids in a gymnasium, listen to Big Nasty. You talk about feeling like Bon Jovi, you feel like a rock star before it's all over. But yeah, again, man, if we could save one child from making a mistake, that's what it's all about.
Definitely. Are you in full gear whenever you're doing all these charity events?
Yeah. Well, last night, no. I don't know. Y'all might have heard that I was in a hospital probably a couple weeks ago. Anyway, kind of fighting through that and making sure that I can get through the season. That's the main thing, right? Big Nasty's last ride, man. We got to make sure we're riding. So when we went to Neiman Marcus, I don't know if they would be happy seeing Big Nasty walk through that building, but we ended up going with the Hall of Fame jacket and the ring, and it was pretty fun. Wife had a great time, and we went with some friends, and it was neat to see some of the old ones like Martin Gramatica, and seeing some of the old guys is always cool.
Another dude always doing charity work.
Yeah, and he's a soccer coach now. He's definitely got his kids playing well, so he knows how to teach, and we're talking on a professional level. Martin's always been a great guy. He stayed in the community, kind of like Mike Allstott. Derek
Yeah.
Brooks, I saw Warren Sapp just the other day at camp, and it's like, he's just absolutely amazing, man. He cracks me up every time.
Yeah, deep rooted in the
Definitely.
community, man. That's the way to be.
Yeah. They remember the old guys, man. You got to remember 35 years. They know who's been around. They know who got abused as a child when I was 8 years old, and Pittsburgh and Raider fans, my best friends, they were living the life, and I was looking like Bucko Bruce crying, but they were the rough years. But you know what? I loved them. I never stopped watching them, and all the losses, I kept watching them. And, I just thought that was what we did on Sundays at the house. You turn on 13, you had the antennas back then, guys. It ain't nothing like it is now. But, it's the truth. There was 3 channels back then.
Yeah.
But, and I tell you what, I'm so thankful that, my mom and my dad always taught me loyalty, stick with your team to the end. And, I have just been blessed beyond belief what this character has given me the platform to do. I mean, it's amazing.
Has anybody came to you about making a documentary about your whole ride?
This year? No. Been in a documentary before not documentaries were even issued. It was called We Believe, and it was about the road to the Super Bowl. And we didn't make it to the Super Bowl that year, but I ended up getting inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for Visa Hall of Fans in 2001. So it kind of went from the Super Bowl, and I think that's the one where they had it here in Tampa, Baltimore, and somebody. And then it obviously the story turned to me making the Hall of Fame for the first time, which was absolutely amazing. I still remember like it was yesterday, because it's totally different today now. It ain't like the Hall back in 2001 was, you had wooden chairs right in front of the hall. I mean, right in front of the entrance. And you sat with everybody.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I can remember, who did I have? I had Les Steckel sitting right next to me back then. I don't know if you remember that guy from way. He was one of our coaches back then. And then who else is got all kinds of pro athletes. I mean, obviously they're visiting the hall to stand by whoever's getting in at that year. But just an amazing place, and to see it grow to what it is now. If you haven't been to Canton, Ohio, you need to go to Pro Football Hall of Fame, because it is absolutely amazing.
Nice. Were there any other kind of super fans like you from other teams that were getting inducted at the same time, or no?
In 2001, yes. To give you an idea, the Visa Hall started in 1999, and Walter Payton was the spokesperson. And it was Russ Steinman was the inaugural Buccaneer fan in the hall. A lot of people don't know that. Second one was Melody Figursky. I call her my angel on earth. She's phenomenal. Matter of fact, I had put in for that year and actually got dismissed. She got it before me. Oh, wow. And I almost wasn't going to do it. I was like, but Russ said, no, you got to do it. You got to go again. I said, I did already. Didn't work. He said, no, go ahead and do it. And man, long and behold, look what happened. We ended up getting in the hall for the third inductee for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And it's been a blessing ever since. I mean, what's funny is you see everybody. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was Big Dog from Cleveland. Big Dog wore the mask. I don't know if you guys, there's some great stories between. These are my icons. These are the guys that kind of molded me. He taught me the business side of being a Hall of Fame fan. Then I met Boss Hoggett. The guys, the Redskins wear dresses. Oh, yeah. Well, Boss Hoggett was the head, and he taught me the charitable side. And that's where he does what they call hog for a day, or Hoggett for a day. Yeah. And he wants you to do nasty for a day. So that's where that actually came from. And then, God rest his soul, Barrel Man from Denver, the Broncos. I mean, the guy's got a statue of bronze when you walk into that stadium now, which is absolutely amazing. He's the one that wore the barrel with the suspenders and the boots and the bat, nothing underneath. And it was like, 20 below,
Yeah, that was wild.
I think alcohol has something to do with everybody starting, but then it evolves into doing great things, because you got kids that look up to you. You can't be drinking at the games. Yeah, that's just foolish, especially when you got kids just want pictures with you and look at you. I don't know if I always think your parents should be the role model. But if they look at me as a role model of being a great Buccaneer fan, so be it. That's what it's about.
Yeah. You went in back, is it 2020 you went back in?
Yes. But before we go back I just want to see how much of a Dallas fan this guy really is.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, okay. All right. Just to let you know, in 2001, there was a Cowboy fan that went in with me, but he was deceased. He died of diabetes. What was his name?
Oh man. See, I
Come
don't even
on,
know,
bro.
man. I ain't even gonna
You
lie.
probably weren't even born yet. How old were you?
Yeah.
17? Remember Crazy Ray?
Crazy Ray. Crazy
See?
Ray.
You need to do your research.
Oh,
Crazy
wait,
Ray.
yeah, that's to do with the black vest, right?
Crazy Ray.
Yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah.
in my Hall of Fame class
That's
in
right, that's
2001. Unfortunately, he had passed before he could actually accept the honor. But I always thought that was one of the coolest things. Him, and I had Bone Lady from Cleveland, Crack Man from the Lions, and Bell Ringer from the Buffalo Bills. And it's crazy. We all still stay in touch like it was yesterday, man. Good people.
Did you say Crack Ringer?
What?
Crack Man. Now
okay.
you would think Crack Man and Bell Ringer, especially with Crack Man, like what in the world, Crack? But his last name is Cracciola, so they used to call him the Crack Man. But this guy has blue suspenders, and he knows that Detroit fight song. I'm telling you, you get around him, especially you drinking a few pops. Oh my God, you'll be singing that Detroit Lions song before you know it. He'll do it on planes. He does it everywhere. But it's pretty amazing. And literally, I think he's going to pop a blood vessel every time he does it. But and Bell Ringer, it's kind of funny. I was like the big guy, right? Bell Ringer's probably 4 foot maybe. So that was always the picture. And everybody made fun of us because you got the big guy and the little guy. But heart of golds, man, all of them.
And I think you should keep asking Tito questions, and every time he gets one wrong, he has to take Dallas stuff off. So
There you go. There you go. And burn it. But no,
the way the Joneses are going, I'm gonna be burning all kinds of stuff.
You probably thought I was gonna ask you, hey, what's the name of your mascot currently?
Oh, nah. That's an easy question.
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't know that, I'd be like, whoa, wait a minute now.
I knew about Crazy Ray, but I couldn't think of his name. I just remember he's the guy that used to come up in the vest and he'd have the slacks on and everything, man.
Yeah, the Redskins used to have a guy that dressed up like an Indian. His name was the Chief. He was an old timer. He's passed on too. But the Hogettes, man, they taught me about the charitable side. When you got guys that are coming to you and telling you, hey, you're in the hall now. Now you got a responsibility. And I didn't know how to raise money. I didn't know what the heck to do. And those guys led the way and at least took the time out, to break bread with me and share the good things about being this, what I call 15-minute worth of fame. Right. And, hey, we've been doing good ever since. I mean, it's hard to believe my daughter's 23 years old now. And we started that Drugs Are Nasty program back when she was in kindergarten. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's just nuts.
And you said 15 minutes of fame. You mean 35 years of fame. I mean, come on.
Well, you got to hear some of the questions I get are just silly, right? Who's going to be the next big nasty? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do? It ain't about that. It's about Buck Nation running wild. And I envisioned back in the day when everybody was wearing bags over their heads and calling us the sucking ears. I can remember like it in the Yucks. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes success leaves clues. I looked over at Raider Nation and I saw the black hole and I said, boy, one day it'd be really cool to have a fan base like that. Because we've always had 45,000 back in the day, guys. Win, lose, or draw, 45,000. Now, whether they used their tickets back then or not, when we were losing, who knows? The old saying, you leave, you leave 2 tickets on the windshield, you come back and there's 6. That is a true statement. There is no joke about that. But no, I mean, the neat thing about that is, I always tell every Buck fan, you're going to have losing seasons, you're going to have championship seasons, and we're just blessed to have 2 under our belt. I had a bucket list checked. I got to go to a Super Bowl with my daughter and win it in our own home stadium.
That
You
was
can't
pretty.
make
Yeah,
this
that's
stuff
pretty
up.
dope.
You can't
Man,
make
that's
that up, guys.
yeah,
That's just
that's got to be an amazing feeling, an amazing thing to watch too, just to be there live because it's totally different. When you're seeing it on TV, that's a different perspective. When you're there and you hear the chant, and you can feel the crowd, the energy
yeah.
that everybody's giving out. Oh man, it's awesome.
Well, 35,000 ain't a lot of people, because that's all they allowed in. And I could tell you what's crazy is we literally were right on the 50-yard line. I think we were like 3 rows because they had like a blinder, where they wouldn't like so close to the sideline. But I could tell you, I could remember like it was yesterday. It was amazing. I'm literally seeing right where Brady's sitting right in front of me, and I'm just watching. Man, you talk about a man on a mission. But what was really, really cool, and I could share this, but you probably didn't see it on TV. There's a minute, 30 seconds left, and we already had a decent lead. These guys were still focused. There was no celebration going on, nothing. They were like focused. And I'm the one that's screaming, "You brought us another ring." I'm screaming so loud. I'm yelling at Jason Light, our GM. And he, that's what I'm trying to say, guys. They're hearing me. Do you understand? That's, when you have a Super Bowl, they ain't hearing nothing, with the crowd. But with 35,000, they heard my yap going, that's for sure. But, it was an amazing time. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Special moments. And I think probably the best moment besides the games is watching the players and the wives and the families after the celebration and having that graffiti. Oh, man, that's amazing. That's amazing. I didn't get to feel that in Super Bowl 37. I mean, we were a little bit further up, but that was an amazing win too. I got to give you, but 2 blowout Super Bowls, 2 wins. You got to love it.
Man, that's awesome.
Definitely. How long did you hang out that night? Like after they won, you were there like an hour or two?
It's funny. I was more emotional the first one, right? There's nothing like your first.
Yeah.
They'll never be. But I'm going to tell you something. To win it at home. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you this. Remember, I got inducted in 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go up to the hall and they give us a sneak preview because there's nobody in the hall. They didn't have a Hall of Fame induction that year. They moved it to 2021. I don't know if you remember that. So they had 2 inductions in 2021 because everything got on hold for COVID. All right. Yeah. But we got to go up to visit the hall when there was nobody there and, see our exhibit. It was really neat. But what was cool is there was this sign, me and my daughter, Destiny, she came across and she goes, "Dad," I swear to God, guys, I got pictures to prove this. She goes, "Dad, see this sign?" I go, "What?" She goes, "No team has ever won a Super Bowl in their home stadium." And it's in bright yellow. I have it to this day. So she goes, "Dad, we're going to be, I swear to God," she goes, "Dad, we're going to be the first team to do that." I mean, you can't make that up, man. We literally took a picture of it.
Goosebumps right there.
It was like, and here, dig this, guys. My daughter's name is Destiny. How crazy is that, right?
Nice.
So, yeah, I think that photo is more important than, just seeing the Lombardi Trophy and all that. It was a special year. I think this one could be a special year too, as long as we could stay healthy. And, we're definitely the favorites in the NFC. Yeah, the Rams are tough. They always will be. And they normally always have our number, right? So hopefully we can, I would love to see them in an NFC championship game here in Tampa. I'd love to have another crack at them guys with a sold out crowd. And now they extended the seats in the south end zone. So now you got it louder. Whew, I wouldn't want to be that team that's coming in our house. But no, we're really excited. I mean, the fans are pumped. What was really neat about going to camp the other day, you got to remember, man, none of us have got to embrace this team, the Super Bowl team. Yeah. We couldn't get around them. You couldn't get appearances. You couldn't get autographs, nothing like, the 2003 team where, you got to embrace them. You had your favorite players because you had conversations with them. Right. Well, I'll tell you what, going this past Thursday and I guess you could say last one is Big Nasty, was pretty special, man. Brian Ford, our COO, man, he is just one amazing man. I don't know how he does it. every day I was in the hospital, he was texting me to see how I was doing. COO of an NFL franchise, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl champions, and you're texting me?
Wow.
I mean, just to see how I'm doing. But he does that with a lot of fans. I'm hearing he is a one genuine guy, and that's why they're number one in customer service every freaking year, man, in and out. So just a blessing of a guy. And between me and you, I really consider one of my best friends. Good guy.
Nice. I mean, you spent 35 years of your life dedicating to like a team you love. So it's cool that they show you love right back.
Yeah, it's not, I always went into this. We didn't go into this thinking this was going to happen. Come on. My brother broke up with his girlfriend. I said, dude, let's go to the game. Let's paint up. First time we ever did it. Yeah, it ended up being the battle of the pigs, the Packers and the Bucks. And we're the two worst teams in the NFL. And we used to only do it for the Packer games, believe it or not, because that's when we were in the NFC Norris. I don't know if you remember that division. That's the original division we were in, where it had the Minnesota Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and us. And then we got to the South. And but yeah, just an absolute wonderful ride. I always say to everybody, they go, "Hey, what's it take to be a Superman? Just go enjoy the game." And what I always say is, if you really want to know what it's about going to the game and making somebody else's game day experience memorable. In a good way, not a bad way. You can't be doing that if you're all looped up and drunk, right? So a lot of people go for different reasons, right? The main thing is go have a good time, enjoy football. And if you could help somebody down the road, whether it's, just taking time and taking a picture, people love that. Having a conversation with a kid in a wheelchair, it's those things that people never forget.
Joining us on this podcast right now.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Just to get the invite, I thought it was amazing. One thing I always do is, you get a lot of these requests. And I'm always, if my schedule permits, I'll do it in a heartbeat. All we're doing is having a nice conversation, talking about what? Now we're talking about the last 35 years, but I think if I had to look back and go, okay, what's the coolest things that happen? Is the people that are 21, 22, 25 come back to me and they show me a picture when they were younger, right? Hey, I just want to show you. It happened to me at camp because I just want to show you a picture of me when I took a picture with you when we first met you. And there's the dad, there's the son, and mom's bringing it up. And I'm like, really? I said, you mind sending me that picture? I mean, the kid was like, knee high. And now the kid's like, I think 22 years old, and he's about 6'3". That happens a lot, believe it or not. And it's flattering, makes me feel a little older, but it's all in good funds, and it means you did something right.
Can I tell you a quick story? The first time that I dressed up for a football game?
Sure, shoot away.
It was about maybe 10, 15 years ago, South Florida football game, at Buck Stadium. I had the painted green face, the green wig, the green tight shirt, the socks, everything. I'm not like you, so I was partaking in the alcohol for the tailgating, so I was pretty tipsy. On the way in, I decided to put vodka in a water bottle and then put it in my sock so I can bring it in. And I got into the stadium, but being drunk, as soon as I walked in, I pulled it out, and an undercover cop see me do it, snatched me up, got me in the elevator, brought me down to the ground floor, put me in the holding cell, and then ran my background. And they basically were like, all right, get out of here. Don't come back for a year. I think they said they have fake face recognition or whatever. But I'm drunk, so I left. I got all the paint off, took the wig off, changed my shirt, scalped the ticket, and went back in and watched the game.
I've heard crazy things. I could tell you the Hogettes. Mikey tells me this one all the time. He goes, he went to. It all started here in Tampa, believe it or not, the Hogettes, and it was the Washington Redskins Raider game. Obviously, they got whipped, but they actually ended up escorting him out of the stadium because they got two guys misunderstood. I'm like, I go, Mikey, how did they misunderstand a man in a dress with a hog snout and a bonnet hat? Are you kidding me? I said, you sure you telling me the truth here, buddy? He goes, yeah, I swear. I guess one of them wasn't a hoggette, but they were impersonating, and the guy was all liquored up. Kind of similar story. And Mikey hates Tampa to this day. He goes, after that, he goes, I ain't ever going back to Tampa. They treated me, you know. So, but it's amazing the stories you have. You know, I could tell you, and you're right. You never know what you're going to come across. And one of my most special moments happened. I was taking Action Jackson. I have to remember. I always put like help me memories on names. The kid who was suffering from cancer, and we took him to the game. I mean, we went all out. I had a limo. This is like, we just had a blast for this kid. We got on the field passes from Brian Ford. He was nice enough to do that, and
Nice.
the kid had a great time. But what happened that day as we were walking off the field was absolutely heart-stopping and rewarding at the same time. You know, I do this Drugs Are Nasty program, and part of it is storytelling, and it's, you know, pointing out that, hey, out of these 2,400 kids in the gymnasium, one of you guys are a drug dealer. It's just facts, guys. It's just facts, right? And I said, it could be anybody. And it's weird because you get everybody looking at each other. You also could see the ones that are looking at you like, yeah, that's the guy. You know, you can just, you know how to read body language, right? So that being said, I'm on the field and coming off. Guy yells at me, young kid, stocky build, athlete. You can tell he plays football or some kind of athletic. And he's yelling, hey, Big Nasty. And everybody yells Big Nasty. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, let me just get off field. I want to get to my seats before the game starts. And he goes, Big Nasty, you changed my life. And I'm like, the hell's wrong with this guy, right? I don't know. I definitely don't know, because I made eye contact. I didn't know the guy. And then all of a sudden he yells it again. And then he gets real close. I mean, like I can hear him. And I'm like, so I stopped. I'm with my daughter. And I said to him, I said, hey, man, what's going on? He goes, hey, man, you know, you changed my life. I said, yeah, I heard that. I don't understand what you're talking about. He goes, well, you know that drugs are nasty program, and you start talking about the drug dealer. I'm telling you right now, guys, I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Got my daughter here. What is this guy going to do here? You know, I'm thinking I'm going to have to break bad as Big Nasty, right?
Yeah.
Hold my own head. You never know, especially in Florida. You even said it, you know? So I said, yeah, what about it? He goes, you changed my life. Says it again. I go, yeah, but I don't get it, man. How did I change your life? He goes, I was in that program. I listened to you say no and walk away and tell somebody, but I was that drug dealer. I'm like, ready. I am really freaking out, right? So then he goes to me and I go, well, so what are you trying to say? You know, I thought it was going to go like that. I thought my New Jersey attitude was going to come out. And he literally goes, you changed my life. I said, I still don't understand. How did I change your life? He goes, that day you told us that we could speak to anybody. We could speak to a counselor, a teacher, mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, auntie, uncle, talk to somebody. And that day I went and spoke to my counselor. And what you don't know is that day when you called me out, which not personally out, but you were calling me out, I was selling drugs on the corner just to keep my three brothers, you know, so they could have breakfast. I go, and he goes, yeah, my mom and dad were incarcerated. So here you got a kid, you know, as far as in middle school, guys, selling drugs to help his his brothers out. And I was like, wow. I said, yeah, that's rough. I mean, we all get a bad dealt hand, but it's what you make of. And I told, because you also said, you know, you have a ticket out, Big Nasty. You said, if we dove into this book and these education, we can get out. And at first I didn't believe you, but after I went to my counselor, you know, I changed my life. And I said, well, good for you, right? He goes, no, you still don't understand. He goes, I got a scholarship to go to the University of Florida. So I'm thinking, football guy, athletic scholarship. No, dudes, I'm telling you right now, the kid got a scholastic scholarship to go to the University of Florida which I can tell you right now is not easy to get in.
Yeah.
You know, even to this day, you know, to get in Gainesville, it's tough. So how awesome is that? You know, a fan that painted up looks like, I call it Santa Claus syndrome, you know, comes out screaming and hollering, you know, gives out a message, and, you know, it touched one kid. And I'm sure it's touched many over the years. I still get people that come up and remember that. You know, you got to figure how many schools I've done over the years, guys. It's a lot. So, and you figure that's a lot of children, you know. And I hear it all the time. Hey, you came out to my school, you did this, you did that. And I'm proud of it. I really am. It started out, believe it or not, when Dusty was in kindergarten. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just say no. That was it back then. Obviously it evolved just like the Big Nasty evolved, you know. But yeah, that's one of my coolest memories, where, you know, hey, it made a difference, you know, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. Football and changing people's lives. What else could you ask for?
Football, family, and faith, baby. That's what it's all about. And I'll tell you right now, it's great. I mean, even when we went to this was pretty cool. Mike Evans, which you all know will be our next Hall of Famer eventually. Brady, whether he goes in a Pats or a Bucks, but just to let you know, every athlete that goes into the Hall, whatever team they have, is under their bust. So when they say they're going in as a Patriot, or they say they're going in as a Buccaneer, that's not true. They represent every team they ever played for. So if you ever go to see Canton, you see the bust, you'll see every team they played for on their plaques. It's pretty amazing. So,
that's awesome.
But, yeah, fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. And I always try to say to everybody, it's been 35 years of fun. I'm just coming to that time where, you know, I want to spend more time with my family at the game and actually have a conversation. When I'm at the game, guys, not only am I watching the game, but I never deny anybody a photo. I never deny a conversation, even in the middle of the game. The LA Ram game, believe it or not, was still happening. We had a line of about 25 people in the aisle. And it was just getting a little hectic because people want to watch the game, man. Not just me. And, you know, you have a service to those fans is how I look at it. But on the other hand, you know, you got to respect each other too at their game, you know, so they could see the side of the game. And, you know, let's face it, playoff game tickets aren't cheap, you know, so fully understand. But yeah, we're going to have this one last ride. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to Germany, which is going to be unbelievable. Thanks to Fran Haas. She actually reached out and sponsored it for me, which, you know, that's a big help for me and my wife. And then we're going to Pittsburgh with the Loose Cannons. Then we're going to Cleveland. I get to see my buddies up in Cleveland. That'll be fun. And family from Ohio. And then last but not least will be Arizona on Christmas Day. That's going to be unbelievable. So we're looking forward. That'll be my nice Christmas present, getting a win against the Cards.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. We really appreciate you joining us. And one last question before we let you go. So they got Gruden out of the Ring of Honor. Now that you're retiring, there's an opening. You think they'll slide you in that Ring of Honor?
You know, guys, I've heard all kinds of things like that. I'm not expecting that. You kidding, man. I'm just a fan just like everybody else. We root together side by side. Just because I'm in the Hall of Fame, I just look at it. I represent Buck Nation in that Hall of Fame, and we all share that award. It ain't about me, myself, and I. It's about us.
Definitely, man. Hey, appreciate you again coming on. Been a good time, bro.
Hey, God bless you guys. Hey, thanks for having me on. And go Bucks.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
Bucks.
We're gonna see though that opening game. We're gonna see. We're gonna see
Going
what's
down.
happening.
We're going down.
Hey, and you know what the Cowboys do in the playoffs?
Dak? No, we'll say sack Dak. There we go, baby.
I like that.
No, but no, appreciate you coming on. Thanks for sharing stories. You know, it was awesome having you on. Thank you so much.
God bless. Be good, guys.
Thank you.